Today I'm going to show you around a very special 1.5 acre property for sale just minutes from the town of Fundão, right here in Central Portugal. It's located in a quiet countryside setting and surrounded by nature. It's a move-in ready country house that comes with around 6,000 square meters of land filled with olive trees and fruit trees, a swimming pool, solar panels, central heating, a large garage and some really beautiful countryside views. Inside, the property offers 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 kitchens and a huge attic space with the potential to be converted into a separate apartment with its own separate entrance. Now, one of the things I really like about this property is the balance it offers between peaceful countryside living and also convenience. You're surrounded by privacy and nature while still being just a few minutes from shops, restaurants, transport links and pretty much everything else you need right in the town of Fundão. Fundão has both bus and rail connections taking you across Portugal and even into Europe, while both Lisbon and Porto international airports can be reached in around 2.5 hours by car. It's a very good looking house. It also has a really nice entrance in the front here with electric gates leading you to a parking area and also a garage. If we look to the right over here, the property starts roughly over there where there's another entrance that leads to a fielded area that also has fruit trees and cherry trees. The property, as I said, is around 6,000 square meters. This is the limit of the land just on this side over here. It's all nicely fenced and walled, and just look how peaceful and beautiful the neighboring area is. Lots of beautiful homes here. So on approach, we can open up the gates with the clicker. And let's just have a look on the side here. We've got municipal water, we've got municipal electricity, so mains electricity. We also have a post box so you can get your deliveries here. This is the walking access, so you can just walk through the gates. Well, if you're bringing a car in, you can go through here. There's a big garage that we're going to look at in a moment. There's parking just on the side. There's a space to get your car out and into the back of the property. Now, there isn't someone living here permanently, so unfortunately, you know, the gardens do need a little bit of maintenance, but you can see they are planted up really nicely and beautiful. There's even a little well here, but I've been told that this one's more decorative. Now, I think what's going to make the most logical sense is for us to start with the front of the house and the interior tour. Just to the right of the driveway, we have these steps that lead up and to the house, and we can see the front of the house a little bit better. We've got a solar water heater up on the top. We've got 1,000 watts of solar panels up there. On the right, we have 3 windows that lead into the bedrooms and the bathrooms. We have the front door, and also we have these double opening doors that take you into the living room. So we're up on the porch right now. We're looking back from where we just walked up. And if you look in the distance over there, those are the Gardenia Mountains. And that is pointing south. And going through the front door, we're greeted by a big hallway area. And this goes through to the bedrooms. This over here goes through to the kitchen. And if I spin you around, we can see the front entrance there. We can also see there's a radiator. So there's central heating going through the property. And if we go in this direction here, we've got a nice living room space. And we have these 2 doors that open up and give us those views of the mountains in the front of the property. And if I spin you around in this direction, we can see into the dining room area. So really good looking space. This is looking back into the living room area. And we can see the decor is a bit dated, but everything's very clean. Everything's definitely move-in ready. We've got the kitchen on this side. I think before we get to the kitchen, I just want to show you, we've got some doors over here. And these doors open up and take you to the pool area. So this is just on the side of the house here. Now, the swimming pool isn't full. I've been told that it does need a little bit of maintenance, so there is some water leaking. I think where you can see these little white marks, it needs to be repainted again and sealed. But it's a really big pool. And we've also got filters over here. All of the equipment already is there. Very, very deep. I mean, just have a look at the side of the pool here. It's huge. So potentially this is something that could be renovated and turned into an amazing swimming pool for the house. We can see the front entrance over there, and these are the doors that lead into the living room, dining room. And I think this could be turned into the most amazing chill out area with a swimming pool and access to the dining room and the kitchen. So going back into the house again, this is the kitchen area. And we can see everything is a little bit dated, but everything's very clean. Definitely ready to move into. All of the appliances, all of the surfaces are very clean. Loads of storage here in this kitchen. We've got the hob on this side over here. We've got double sinks over here. Lots and lots of storage. Actually, let me just show you out this window here. These are views onto the gardens. We've got 1.5 acres out the back there. And this is a view from the other side of the kitchen. There's even space for a little breakfast bar over here. There's also a big wood-burning stove just on this side for the winter time in case you don't want to run the central heating. You just want to heat up this area. So I think what we do, we go back into the hallway area, and let's start on this side. The hallway leading down. This is I'd say the main bathroom of the house. We've got everything in here, bidet, toilet. We've got the sink on this side. We've got a big bathtub on this side over here. The bathtub also has a shower and a shower rail. And if we look back in this direction, we've got another shower. So this is one of these power showers with all the nozzles on the side, which is pretty cool. Now we're going to get to this a little bit later. This takes you downstairs into the garage areas. And I think what we do is we go to the bedrooms. Look, central heating, even in the passageways. And this is one of the bedrooms here. Look at that. Really nice. A really nice space. Space for lots of big furniture, so nice big rooms. And again, we have the central heating over there just underneath the window. And then we've got big views looking out over the gardens, and we got these big wooden shutters. And walking out of this bedroom, let's go to the rest. Here's another one on this side. So this one is kind of done up like a bedroom or an office. Again, lots of space. This has views out the front and a radiator just underneath. You can see all the way down to the driveway on the front there. When I opened up the shutters, I didn't click them, so yeah, but these can be pushed all the way back. Again, a really nice space. 4 bedrooms in total. And let's see, if we go around this side, another bedroom over here, views out the back. This one's got something really interesting. I've never seen this before. On the headboard, it's actually got some old cassette player. Look at this. It's got speakers. It's got a cassette player. It's got a built-in alarm clock, an old radio. I mean, that is pretty cool. I've never seen one of those before. And from the other side of the room, you can see there's plenty of space here for lots and lots of furniture. So nice sized bedrooms. And there's another bathroom upstairs here. So this one has a toilet, a basin, a mirror, and a shower just to the back here. And finally, we have another bedroom. So really, really nice space. And let's just have a look at these views over here. So again, this is to the south of the property. This is going to be going to the Gardenia Mountains. That's the first car I've seen drive down this road. And I've been here for 3 hours so far. So the house is really ready to move in. It feels very clean and clear in here. I mean, obviously there are things that could be updated a little bit and brought into a slightly more modern feel, but overall, it's got a really nice feel. And I think before we go downstairs, I think what we do, we go through here, through the kitchen, and I'm going to show you what could be a completely separate apartment. So the kitchen has this door that can basically take you out to the gardens. Look at this. And there's a separate entrance, so these stairs over here lead all the way up to what could be a separate entrance through this door over here. And if you were to shut this door that goes to the kitchen, you know, if you were to shut this off and lock this, this could be its own separate flat with its own doorway, taking people up to this attic space. And this attic space is enormous. It's all been insulated already and it's ready for renovation. So if we look on this side, we've got a lot of space. This could all be boarded off and this could be storage on the sides. You could put some big windows on this side over here. And you could have a flat up here with its own kitchen, bathroom, storage. And let's see what these views look like. This takes you onto your little cherry plantation. And here's looking back in the opposite direction. So an absolutely enormous attic space. This is the hardware for the solar water heater system. And then these are the stairs leading you back down. So from the hallway just next to the kitchen over here are some stairs that basically lead you down and into the garage area. And this is also very impressive. If we go down here, you can see there is an absolutely enormous space. Look at this. Absolutely huge. We have electric garage doors that open over here that take you to the front of the property. And then we have these doors over here that can also be opened up. And this takes you through to the back of the property. And we're going to be walking out here in a moment, but I'll just kind of give you a little sneak peek of what that looks like. Both of these could be open, so you could bring a car in here or a tractor in here. And let me just spin you around and you can get an idea of the size of this huge area here. So really nice. Now it doesn't just end there, because we've got a whole bunch of stuff going on down here. We have a little bathroom underneath the stairs with a basin and a toilet. So that's pretty cool to have. And then over here we have another kitchen. So a downstairs kitchen. This is kitchen number 2, and it's pretty huge. Granite tops, tons of storage. It's got its own water heater over here. We've got a big oven cooker over here. And we even have a wood burning stove just on this side. Look at this, it's even got its own little living room area. So like a little lounge area, you could put a TV down here, another completely separate space. And let me just spin you around here and walk backwards so you can just take in the size of this whole area. Pretty amazing, huh? And if we go around in this section, there's even more to all of this. We've got some more storage just on this side, so more of this kitchen storage. And then this thing over here is pretty incredible. This is the central heating boiler. And what's quite special about this one, and hopefully it's picking it up on the camera, is that you have a choice between either burning oil, so it can either use like a kerosene fuel, and you've got like a fuel tank and it can burn that, but that's quite expensive. Or if you open this up and you close it with this, you have the option of using wood or charcoal, and you can basically burn wood for central heating. So it's a dual fuel central heating system. It's all plumbed in. It all goes to all the radiators and everything. And I think that's pretty amazing to have. Back through here, there's some storage. I couldn't get the lights working, so apologies if it's a little bit dark. And through here we have some more storage. This is actually an area where the owners have been making wine. So this is a wine vat. I believe they're going to be taking this with them. And there's also storage on the side here to put your wine bottles. It's obviously quite cool in here. Let me just walk inside this space so you can see. They've got some of their olive oil in here from their last harvests. Nice little storage area. And then if we go out and through, I believe there's another space just over here. And this is, again, another storage area for tools and spare parts and equipment and things like that. So the house looks big from the outside, but once you're inside, it's even bigger than you could even imagine, especially this big garage area. And there's so much space here for parking cars, tractors, all sorts of equipment, or even just having parties. Now these doors, double opening doors, lead onto this little patio area here, and we can start to see some of the 6,600 square meters of land. The limit of the land are these bushes over here. They actually had the grass cut a couple of days ago, and we are entering, it's just about to enter summer, so everything's a little bit dry. There's no one staying here now, so there's no irrigation, no one's really looking after the garden. But just imagine what this will look like if you actually irrigate it and you look after it. Before we continue with this tour, I want to say a big thank you and shout out to Wise for sponsoring this week's video. Now, if you're thinking of buying a property here in Portugal or anywhere internationally, there's a very good chance that you're going to need to transfer quite a large amount of money between countries and also between currencies during this buying process. I've personally been using Wise for around 7 years now since moving from the UK to Portugal, and honestly, it's become one of the most useful financial tools that I use every single month. Some banks and traditional providers, they can offer poor exchange rates. They can also charge surprisingly high fees when you're trying to transfer your money. Wise is different because they use something called the real mid-market exchange rate, and everything is transparent, so you can clearly see exactly what you're paying upfront in the app. On a £50,000 transfer, you could save up to £1,000 compared to some banks. If you'd like to check them out for yourself, I've left a special sign-up link down below in the video description that'll give you your first transfer fee-free up to £1,000. So check it out. Looking back at the house, if you go up these stairs here, it takes you to where the swimming pool is. We've got some storage buildings out here. And this is a look at the back of the house. These are the doors that we came through. And then this is a little ramp that leads into the garden. Let's just take you here for a second because this is really beautiful. We've got this lovely covered driveway bit here. And all of the covering here, these are kiwis. So there's some lovely kiwi plants up here. Unfortunately, these kiwis are like kind of overripe now, but just look how many you get. Now, the owners were saying that they love putting chairs and tables out here, and then they sit out here in the summer and have dinners and things. And I'm just going to take you down here a little bit. We can see the hydrangeas, and we can also see the front entrance of the property just over there. So I'm going to take you around this side of the house here. The stairs that lead up to the upstairs and the kitchen. There's some storage just over here. This is where the oil tank or the kerosene tank is for the central heating system that you can also use wood for. This is a window for the downstairs kitchen, and this is where the gas bottles are. And then just ahead of that, if we go up these little stairs, I'll just show you, as I said earlier, this takes you to where the swimming pool section is. There is a lot more to this house than meets the eye, and here's a couple more cool little features that I'm going to show you here. This little building has got a Portuguese bread oven inside This is quite a cool one because it's actually got a little chimney, so all the smoke doesn't come out the front. And you can bake breads and pizzas. You can even do roasts. Anything that you can do in an oven, you can do in one of those. And these little buildings extend all the way across here. And perfect place for storage. If I show you over here, we've got loads and loads of storage. Different rooms, just like that. Couple more doors across here that look pretty much the same inside. And then this last one over here, this is a little building that contains the equipment for the swimming pool. So we've got the swimming pool filter and pump and everything on this side. And the swimming pool itself can be reached by just going up these little stairs. It's just up on the top there. So something you can never have enough of is storage. Now in front of the storage buildings we can see we've got a big well over here. There's 2 wells on the property. This one has a big water storage tank. I'm guessing they probably pump water out of the well into the water storage and then gravity feed. This little building over here, this houses the pumps. And so we've got a pump in here for the well. We also have a pump for a borehole. So there's a borehole on the property. And if we go around this side, we can see the well a little bit better. Now the well and the borehole is actually only really used for the land. The house itself has got municipal water connected, so you don't have to worry about that. But all of the outside faucets and taps and everything are driven by the well and by the borehole, so you can basically irrigate all of this land. Now I think what we're going to do is going to go in this direction next. I don't know if you can see on the side here we've got a little bit of a chicken run, and then we've got a whole bunch of fig trees, we've got mulberry trees. This one over here is a pear tree. Let me just stand back here so you can see. This is where the pool filter building is, and the pool's just up there. And this is the boundary, the border, and the limits of the land. So let's go through here next. This is a lovely mulberry tree. I can remember when I was a kid, we used to keep silkworms, and there was a tree in the neighborhood that had mulberry leaves, and we'd collect these and grow silkworms. Beautiful tree, look at that. And if we go through here, we can see this building over here is used to house chickens. Obviously no one's staying here or looking after the land at the moment, so there's going to be no chickens. But if we have a look in here, we've got little chicken coops and things. It's a nice brick building, so it's all ready to go for the new owners. You can see inside this one over here, they even have a little hatch door. And I believe there's one on this one. Yeah, there's another little hatch door over here. So you can keep separate flocks of chickens, all in these brick buildings. And then they have access to this little area out the back here so they don't get attacked by predators, with netting on the top and on the sides, which is quite handy to have. And just behind that in the background we can see the remnants of a greenhouse. So a great area here. It's close to where the well and the pump and everything is, so you can grow your veggies. It's also close to the house. I mean, the new owners could obviously set up as many greenhouses and things as they wanted, but perfect space for it. Moving ahead of the chicken run, we've got loads of olive trees. Just look at these beautiful olive trees. They're quite mature, and we can see they're covered in blossom at the moment. Hopefully this blossom is going to turn into lots of olives. I've been told there's around 50 olive trees on the property here, so that's way more than you need for your own personal consumption, and you'll actually have enough left over to give to friends, family, and also to sell if you want. This over here is well number 2, and you can see it's a concrete ring well. I'm not sure if this one is set up with electrics and things. In fact, actually it is. I can see this is an electrical cable over here, so I'm guessing it's going to have some sort of pump and things like that, but you're going to need to check all of that information with the sellers. But yeah, so we have one well over here, another well back in that direction, and then we have rows and rows of olive trees that stretch through the gardens here. So it's quite diverse. I mean, on the one hand you're sort of in a nice little suburban neighborhood. It feels kind of detached. It doesn't feel like you're in the middle of a town. On the other hand, you're close to all the transport links, and you are only 7 minutes away from the very center of Fundão and its town, where they have like Monday markets and they have all the shops and supermarkets and everything. And then on the other hand, you're in this rural farmland area where you've got olive trees and you've got space. I was wondering what that noise is, but just over there's a big fruit tree that they've covered in netting to stop the birds from eating the fruit. And they've got a little wind chime thing that's making a banging noise to keep birds away. I believe that's cherry trees, and they're trying to protect the cherries from the birds. But I did not hear that from the house, fortunately, only in the very corner of the garden here. This is the view from the very corner of the land, from the very northwest corner of the land, and looking back. towards the house in the background. I must say I'm very impressed by this property. I hope it's coming across on camera as nice as I'm seeing it in person here. I just see so much potential, you know, for someone to come and put their own stamp on the place, especially fixing up the pool. And, you know, you could definitely move straight in and you could definitely live in the property exactly as it is now. But I imagine if someone did spend the extra money to renovate and put in new kitchens and bathrooms and really fix it up, this place could be absolutely incredible. Now I'm just walking to the other corner of the property to give you some views, but I wanted to show you on this side we've got like a forest. So the piece of land on this side is forested. This is the eastern side of the land, and this forested area actually protects you quite nicely because there's the big sort of road that goes into Fundão is across there, and this road gives you, this forest gives you a nice little bit of protection between you and the road and the actual town itself. And beautiful views, look there, the Gardenia Mountains, and from here we can look back at the house. And we can look back at all of the land. So yeah, what do you think of this place so far? Pretty cool, huh? Let us know in the comments. I mean, this is definitely a property that I know it's gonna go pretty quickly, I think. Especially once this hits YouTube and people start to see what you can get. You know, not everyone wants to live in the middle of nowhere. Some people do want to be around towns or cities, but they don't want to live like they're in a town or a city. They want to have this sort of Portugal farm life experience, keep chickens, keep little animals, grow fruit, grow veggies. And I think a place like this will suit people like that absolutely perfectly. So walking up the garden a bit more, we've got this old sort of storage building over here. It's kind of ramshackle, but a great place for storing wood and odds and ends. I see they've got some of the nets here for collecting olives, and they've got some of the wood that they probably use in the wood burning stoves and also in the central heating system. And then obviously it leads back onto where the house is here, and this is a section that I showed you earlier on the side of the property where it's got its own separate gate entrance just over there, so you can drive in. And then this area here also has loads of different fruit trees, and we've got loads of cherry trees, and we are in the cherry area of Portugal. This is Fundão. This is where all of the best cherries in the world come from. So you've got a whole stack of cherry trees in this section, and then obviously we've got some more fruit trees in this section. This looks like an almond tree over there, and we've got everything from figs to pears to apples. I might be missing quite a few because I did see tons of fruit trees all over the place. And actually, if we look in this direction over here, these are views of the Serra da Estrela, so the Estrela Mountains. So from the south, you've got views looking down to the Gardenia Mountains, and from the north over here, we've got incredible views of the Estrelas. Have a look at this. And the Serra da Estrela, that's the tallest mountain in mainland Portugal. And we can see just over here, look at that. Beautiful. Actually, from up here you can probably see the snow when it's snowing. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed walking around here. This has been a really cool property to film and to show you guys. And I think it's going to make someone a really amazing home. If you are interested in buying this place, I'm not an estate agent. I don't sell properties. I only make videos like this one for buyers or sellers. Have a look in the video description. I'm going to put the seller's contact details. And who knows, this could be your next home. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you again soon for another property tour from Portugal. All the best. Ciao.